Premier League and the Football League have been suspended indefinitely now, so that's kind of what they should have done in the first place, I think, because there doesn't seem any other solution to it, to finishing it, as it is, or letting things stand, or behind closed doors. Nothing seems an option, so that seems the sensible option to me. There is still football going on in Belarus, though. That's, I think, one of the only football leagues, if not the only football league, that's still going ahead. The Belarus president is insistent that vodka is going to protect everybody from coronavirus, which if only that were true.
I don't know where they got that from, but that sounds amazing, doesn't it? Just vodka.
No, but been reading about the players. One of the players was saying that he doesn't mind so much when he's playing because he's focused on the match, but after the match he starts worrying, well, have I contracted the virus today? And it's not really very fair. They're boycotting home and away matches because they don't believe that the government's telling them the truth. So
which team's that?
That's yeah. Thank you for making me repeat that, Lee. It's FK. My handwriting's not the best. It's FK Neman Grodno in Belarus.
Which was that name again?
Stop it now.
FK what?
Yeah.
Neman Manu.
Yeah.
Neman. Okay.
So and those matches in the Belarus league are being streamed on Bet365. And you can watch them on Bet365, but you need to place a bet to be able to watch the matches. So I'm not quite sure how I feel about that. But that's the only real football that I'm aware of that's happening at the moment. Obviously, there's your brick football and whatnot.
Hello to Ian from Telford. Hello. I've got to say hi as well. Rory from Australia at the moment. So hi to you. You'll be watching it on the sort of replay thing. So I'll say hello to Rory.
Hi, Rory. We've got I don't know if you're aware, I only spotted this morning when reading through the news. There's a virtual Grand National, because it's Grand National Day today, of course. Yeah. There's a virtual Grand National. It's going to be on ITV at 5 o'clock.
Oh, it's actually on TV?
It is on TV, and you can bet on that as well, as you would normally. But obviously no horses are going to die, so that's...
No horses to die.
So that's a good thing, and it keeps the betting companies going, which I'm not sure is that such a good thing. But
we could do to find out who's the favourite, didn't we, for that one? Nick Miller. I found a fully signed Blackpool programme from 2000. Steve McMahon in my collection. Wow, okay, wow.
Steve McMahon, yeah, those are the days.
And 15 other autographs. Hey, it's Dan from Instagram. Hi, Dan. Hi, Dan.
Hi, Dan.
Hi, both. It's from Dansplaining, is it?
Dansplaining.
Oh, Dansplaining. Thoughts on non-league results being expunged while professional football has been suspended, seems a double standard. Well,
I think it's a separate...
It's money, isn't it?
It's governed, I think, separately and run separately. I think the reason that the National League and the Football League, and they're all sort of dependent on each other with the promotions and relegations, aren't they? And non-league just seems a little bit different. But I don't know, like I said last week, there's a lot of clubs that aren't happy about it at all. But, I think the only reason that it's not been expunged at high levels, I mean, I was reading that UEFA sort of issued an edict on Wednesday, pretty much, urging members not to abandon the seasons or risk being so much money involved in the Premier League and the EFL. Then because we were looking earlier today about the impact on the Premier League clubs.
Yeah, we do need to smile a bit more. We're under stress because it all keeps disconnecting. It's never done that before.
No, so we know what the problem was.
I think it was we had Apple TV.
Always learning, always upskilling. But yeah, Burnley, for example, if the season was cancelled now, Burnley would lose £5 million from the matchday income, the gate receipts, and the selling the pies and TV money. So you can kind of understand why clubs are keen to play games behind closed doors, even if you can't get the fans in, because that's, they'd lose £5 million on the gate receipts, but 45 million from the TV money. And interestingly, something else has happened, that UEFA, they have cleared all international matches during June. And also, they've lifted the ban on showing televised football at 3 o'clock on a Saturday afternoon. So you could perhaps look at that and say, well, maybe if they do want to get the games finished before the players' contracts expire at the end of June, then the schedule's cleared up, and potentially they could be televising matches in June if it's safe for the players to do so. But I still would argue, to be honest, with that, whether
we're not convinced.
Whether they should be.
We're just not convinced that June it's going to be finished with. It's almost as if the football just seems to be ignoring what's going on, and it seems to be getting worse and worse and worse. And I still think we're only at the beginning of it, not the end of it. I think by June, I don't think we'll have football on by June. But the Football League seem to think that, don't they?
Well, I think they're desperate for that to happen, really, aren't they? Because the players' contracts expire at the end of June, and I don't think there's any leeway there if they can't. They can't force the players to play after June if they want to leave. Jane is always smiling, not when she's going to Rotherham, and now that's very true.
No. With the less spoken about Rotherham, the better.
It's going okay. We're having quite a time, aren't we? We're doing just what we have a lot more time. We're sleeping a lot more. No alarm in the morning, which is great. And I was reading earlier that if you're not quite as active, then you do tend to sleep more for some reason. Although we do go out for a walk every day, don't we?
Yeah, we've been doing a daily walk, keeping fit.
Yeah, which I think can tire you out as well if you're doing exercise every day and you're not used to it, which we're not really, are we? So
no.
So yeah, so we're getting some fresh air. My skin's been going a bit dry, but it seems to be a little bit better now. So yeah, we're doing all right. We're trying to keep to a routine. I work all day every day, and Lee works on his videos all day every day, and then in the evenings, we have a bit of creative time and a bit of TV time to chill out. So we have a bit of a routine every day, and we've got this obviously every Saturday. So it's going okay. How's it going for you guys?
Yeah.
How are you coping? What are you doing differently? Are you learning any new skills, or what are you doing to fill your time? Are you finding routines? Are you still at work, or from a Fleetwood fan, love your videos. What do you think the outcome of the season should be? I think they should scrap it personally, because our season was over and I don't want to go to Portsmouth. Yeah, frankly.
Yeah, there was some benefits to the fact if it does get scrapped. Obviously, there's a few things, but there's so much to sort out, because even if they scrap the season, which is the idea of the poll before, if they do scrap the season, then would they just take like a photograph of the leagues as they are and say the top three in the Championship go up, the top three in the Premier League come down, the bottom three come down? Would it just be totally scrapped and just completely start again? Then would there be lawsuits from like Leeds United and teams that are, obviously in the playoff spots? If you just scrap it, Liverpool won't get the title for the Premier League. Should they give them the title based on where we are now? We just don't know the answers to it, really. No. Or is it fair to restart the season as soon as we can and get it finished?
Nick Muller says I'm saving money by not going on all the away trips. Well, yeah, me too. I'd never actually calculated how much I'd spend going watch Blackpool away, but I think the answer would be a frightening amount. Brexit Boys on tour, yes, we're snacking all the time. We did buy some fruit last week, so we're trying to snack on that. But we're finding, I think we're snacking on fruit as well as all the chocolate. So
we ran out of goodies, and we actually ended up going out and getting some more, didn't we? We were almost saying we were through them, but we ended up getting a few more goodies. John says they should do a points per game average and work out the tables from there. Well, that could be an idea.
It's just to be lawsuits, whatever way they do it. Mark, thanks for joining the Basil call earlier. That was great. That was lovely, actually. Basil, the Blackpool Association of Supporters in London, did a Zoom audio teleconferencing call, so all the Blackpool fans could get together and chat and see each other. Which I think, to be honest, that's a brilliant idea during normal times. Never mind isolation. I think it's great that everybody can get together, and it's not always easy for people to get out to meetings of these supporters groups. So I think it could be. I think we're going to learn a lot out of this isolation that we're going to take forward into our post-isolation lives. But it was lovely to see you all, guys. It really was. It's quite emotional, actually. Nice to see sort of where you all live as well. And Christine's roof terrace, which I'm very jealous of. We haven't really got a roof terrace here, have we? I haven't even made it up to the loft yet, but I don't imagine it's anything like Christine's roof terrace.
No, it's a very nice roof terrace, wasn't it?
Ian's gardening.
Oh, Ian, I just got back from a cruise.
Oh,
So I'm
gosh.
back at work next week after 14 days. Oh, you're back
Oh,
at
gosh, I
work.
bet a cruise was quite scary, wasn't it, in the current environment? Where have you been on that? And were you stuck on the boat for a while, or were you allowed off?
Tyler Dodd was going to Milton Keynes Dons away today. So what's your team, Tyler? Who do you follow? Milton Keynes away. Who were we today?
Burton at home today.
Yeah,
so.
we have Burton Albion at home, so we'd all be going to the home match today. So are you all really missing the football? We're missing it terribly.
I'm not missing it. I'm not missing it at all.
No, you're not. No, she's not missing the away day trip.
Well,
we're a bit more excited since we got rid of Grace, and it was a little bit more interesting. Really, it was just it was wearing you down, wasn't it?
Definitely.
Oh, he's a Fleetwood fan. Yeah, Tyler does a Fleetwood fan. Yeah. Oh, so they were playing Milton Keynes Dons today. Oh, home and away. That's brilliant. Yeah, they don't get many going away Fleetwood, do they? So
Dan, my uncle is in Basel. He was on the video against Southend at the start of the season. Who's your uncle, Dan? Is it Paul? Possibly. Well, before we get in the grounds, can't social distance in a football ground. No, so well, you can at non-league. You definitely can at non-league football, but not in no. Life is dead without watching football. It's I guess when it's going well or when it's not going terribly, I guess it must be hard. It must be really hard for for Liverpool fans and teams that were doing really well.
Oh, Ipswich, Ipswich on a Tuesday night. That was that was very loyal. That to go all the way to Ipswich on a Tuesday night. That's a heck of a journey, isn't it, to do on one night? So what time do you get home from Ipswich on a Tuesday night? About 4 a.m, something like that.
Is Jane worried about Coronation Street running out of episodes to show in the coming weeks? Definitely, yes. We're already behind. It was a bit weird last night because it was April Fool's Day in last night's episode, which didn't quite work because it was the 3rd of April. Someone said that they're showing the old episodes on ITV3, is it? So I might have to start watching those because it's going to be weird without it.
What's our all-time 11 Blackpool team? Well, I'll tell you what, I can't quite do it right now, but we could maybe get that ready for next week, our all-time favourite Blackpool 11, if you want to get your Blackpool 11 and we'll compare notes.
Actually, one of my friends posted one of these earlier. Pete from Yorkshire Seaside is his all-time 11, which I couldn't really argue very much with. He's got Joe Hart in goal, who I would have, Stephen Craney, Danny Shittu, and Ian Everett at centre-half, and Seamus Coleman.
Yeah.
Wes Houlihan, Charlie Adam, David Vaughan, Trevor Sinclair, and up front Dave Bamber and Brett Ormrod.
Ooh.
So I wouldn't really veer too far from that. That's quality. I mean, Dave Bamber and Brett Ormrod up front. You couldn't possibly have anyone else. I don't think, could you? Well, not in my time, certainly.
And then we had Houlihan in midfield with Charlie.
David Vaughan, Trevor Sinclair. Trevor Sinclair, I don't know. I mean, he obviously went on to do well. He never excited me that much, but I was only like 13, I think, when he was.
Which position was Luke Varney on the Premier League? Because I liked him in the Premier League.
Oh, yeah.
I thought he was brilliant.
He was. Dobby?
Yeah, Dobby, Stephen Dobby,
yeah. He's still going, isn't he?
I know, but I liked him as well. So would he be in the place of Sinclair, maybe, Dobby?
Possibly. Possibly. I think we're running out of time to decide for leagues to be finished, but apparently UEFA have come out with a warning saying leagues can't be null and void, so who knows? Well, yeah, they're saying that you'll potentially be banned from Europe, which is, well...
How do we miss out Jimmy Armfield? Well...
We don't remember him. We don't remember seeing him play, so it's
not really,
very difficult.
I mean, he is a legend, but probably will go down in the all-time 11, but not one that I could honestly say I've seen playing or remember playing.
Yeah, controversially, there's a number of clubs that have
Tony Walters in goal.
Gary Briggs. But he'd be suspended though, wouldn't he? So you couldn't. Didn't he get sent off about 3 times a season?
Yes, he did. He did get sent off quite a bit. Ray Charlie, and again, got a Tony Green. Well, yeah. I mean, it's perhaps we need the. Is it the best 11 that we've ever watched, or just are we talking about the best 11 of all time? Because obviously that changes things, doesn't it? If we're talking about the best 11 of all time, then you have to put.
Well, you've got to have Jimmy Hampson in there, then.
Yeah, Jimmy Hampson and blooming Stan Morty, haven't you? Really, and all that lot. I mean, but those are not players that I remember, obviously. So
all-time best manager for that team. Would you have Billy Eyre in there as the best manager. We couldn't have Ollie back, could we?
But I don't think it's about having Ollie back. I think, I mean, Holloway.
Even
Holloway has to go down in history as one of the greatest managers that the Blackpool have ever had, because he took a bunch of nobodies into the Premier League and almost stayed there. What he's done afterwards and said afterwards, which has offended a lot of Blackpool fans by kind of backing the Oystons and saying things which we don't really understand why he's done all that. Really, he'd have been better keeping his mouth shut about all that sort of stuff, really, because he's obviously going to upset Blackpool fans if he starts signing with the Oystons because of all the trouble that we've had. But Holloway must go down as it's the best football I've ever seen, and never seen football the way we were playing under Holloway. It was unbelievable. There was times I was sat. It was the Everton game at home where Seamus Coleman scored, and I said to my dad when we were watching the game, I said Everton are the best football team I have ever seen. I've never seen football like this in my life. I said, but the thing is, Blackpool were playing better than Everton, and we were that day we were better than Everton, and we played unbelievable football under Holloway in that Premier League, and it was a tragedy we went down. But for referees, we wouldn't have gone down. For referees, maybe the Oystons not bringing a goalie in as well when we're short of a goalie and sticking with that Kingston, but for me the referees didn't give us anything. They sent us down.
Holloway was a magician, says he.
Of course,
he was. Honestly, he was amazing what he did for us. We should never really forget what. No. Well, we never will forget what he did for us.
No, never. It was the most exciting football ever. We were in a box because he was there with the hospital. And there was a Preston fan in the box. I can't remember which game it was now. It was like a Tuesday night game, and at half time we were winning 1-0, and the Preston fan was just saying, I can't believe the football I'm watching. We had about 20 odd shots in the first half. It was just wave after wave after wave. And that was the year after we went down. The football under Holloway was unbelievable. Oh, super chat. Thank you, Tyler. Thank you very much. Oh, we forgot to mention there's this new feature now on these where you have super chat where you can actually tip us. So thank you very much for £1.99, Tyler Dodd. Really appreciate that. Thank you. So yeah, brilliant. So yeah, so it's just a way of helping the channel and the live stream, the things we're doing. So if you fancy tipping us for a 50p or something, we don't mind. Well, thank you, Tyler. Really appreciate that. Thank you.
Thank you, Tyler.
Yeah.
The vlogs. We will. Just wish we had some football to vlog, really. We're just trying to think of ideas, really, at the moment, of things that we can do for you. If anybody's got any suggestions of what you'd like to see on the channel, what we can do videos about, obviously we're restricted a little bit at the moment. We've got the footage that we've already taken, obviously, and we can talk about anything, and we can do maybe some top 10s or something. Anything if anybody would like to see.
Yeah, some videos that we're doing, because apart from walking around the garden and showing you the garden for half an hour, or show us as redecorating or something, which is a bit of painting we can show you. But if there's anything you want us to, like to go over from the season, if there's any matches you really enjoyed, and we can kind of do a video on that if any of you guys are interested in that sort of thing, so we can put some videos out, because it's we all want to watch something, don't we? And it's it's these times we're all sat at home bored, really, isn't it? I mean, I've been surfing other vloggers channels this week, just watching other football vloggers from other teams, just to keep myself not being bored, really. I've been watching YouTube quite a bit in the afternoon.
Yeah, Ben says I watch the Blackpool season review when we're in the Premier League every day. Yeah, we've got that somewhere, haven't we?
Yeah,
we should do more of that. One thing we were going to ask actually is a feature that we might like to bring into these live streams is to watching the football stuff on Netflix. So at the moment, there's two things that we're planning on watching
this week.
There is this week we're planning on watching Sunderland Till I Die, which is the second series is getting reviews. Apparently people binge watching it and can't get enough of it. So we're going to watch that this week. So if you want to watch it, if you haven't watched it, and then we can chat about it when we're back here next week.
Yeah, we're going to chat about it next week. And then we've got this other football thing, haven't we? But
there's another one on Netflix called The English Game, which is about when the game was started, obviously by more upper class people, and then the working class wanted to get involved, and it was all about the conflict between them and how it became a working man's game, basically. So they're both on Netflix. So we'll watch Sunderland Till I Die this week and chat about it next week, and then the following week we'll watch The English Game. And
Tyler, you will be on when we come to Fleetwood. We will definitely meet up. You can follow me on Instagram, whatever, and we'll arrange a meeting next time we play Fleetwood, and we'll get you on the vlog. Absolutely, 100%.
Ryan suggests Mr. and Mrs. Could we do Mr. and Mrs.?
No, just last. Oh.
I'm not
Mr.
sure.
and Mrs. Well, we could do the thing where we hold up a shoe. You ask us questions. We have each other's shoe. That's what you do. We go back to back, and I have a Jane shoe, and she has one of mine. Well, you have a shoe of each, and then you have to put the shoe up depending on who you think is the most. And we could do that on
Yeah, we
live
could do.
if you want to do that.
You could come with questions for us.
You come with questions. We'll take the shoes off, and we'll do the. We'll put it up.
Where'd you get shoes from?
That's what you do at a wedding. I'm a wedding DJ.
Right,
You do. You get them sat back to back, and then
Right.
you swap a shoe over each. So you have one of your shoes and one of his shoes. And then everybody asks you sit back to back, and everybody asks you a question. You have to put up the shoe on who you think it is. So if you say
okay.
who's the best driver, and you think you are, you put your shoe up, or you put
Right.
my shoe up,
Oh,
and then
okay,
and then
yeah,
you
yeah.
see how much in love they are. You know how much they
gosh.
know about each other, and it's quite funny because they never get it all right. It's quite funny.
They haven't known each other very long.
No.
I'm glad to see Channel doing well. I'm on the Bears. The Bears? The Bears. Bluefield Bear?
Oh.
Maybe?
We're not sure on that one, Michael. You have to explain that. Glad to see the channel doing well. Come on the Bears. Is it Come on the Bears?
Yeah.
Would that be Come on the Bears? Come on the Bears. I know it's not football related, but that would be fun. Yes, it would be fun. Yes, it would.
Okay, well maybe we could have a
Any video apart from they'll seeing Jane upset. Well, there was
yeah.
only it was really the one time where she finally had enough.
Yeah,
She wasn't very happy about the
I was
equaliser.
crying, wasn't I? Well, no, to be honest, I'm being Burton. Burton away, I wasn't very happy either.
No, was that when we went up to 10 men? It still got sent off.
Yeah,
Still got sent off,
possibly,
didn't he? And we hung on for
Yeah.
dear life for that
I
one.
don't like to be upset. It'd be nice to bring you some, Jane ecstatically happy and
I think she was more upset actually because whenever I went away, we got a winner and she didn't get to do it. I did it, so that was upsetting you, wasn't it? Because I got the Donny one, didn't I, where we won, and which was the other good one. Reading away.
That was my birthday win, though, wasn't it? So
yeah, it was a birthday win.
I think for all the football gear, all the clubs have now, no one can buy it. Superstar when they open. Now I have some news on that. Mossley, who play in the Northern Premier League, a nice little club, went down there with Chasetown a couple of seasons ago. They're selling match-worn shirts for £10 that their players have worn during matches over the past few seasons. So they're making, if anyone's buying them, they're making a little bit of money out of that.
Rangers. Rangers.
Okay.
Yeah. So you're a Rangers fan, Michael, yeah? Oh, nice to have you aboard.
Yeah.
So how have you found... Have you been watching any of our videos, Michael? Because if you're a Rangers fan, but you've probably come to Blackpool quite a bit if you're from Scotland. A lot of people like Blackpool in Scotland, certainly from Glasgow. We seem to have most of Glasgow here in the summer. Oh, I don't know if you got my message earlier, but you are my main link to BFC since I got old.
Bless.
Ian, okay.
Oh,
Well,
lovely.
that's nice. That's nice.
Yeah, I'm glad
We're
we
glad.
can-
I mean, half of these things, obviously, we do them. I actually. The ones that Jane does, because it kind of shows, you feel like you've gone away to a game, you've been on the bus or you've been on the train, or you've seen what it's like out, when you've been walking around Lincoln or wherever. And I found them really interesting to watch because I've not been, so I've kind of felt like I've been. And I was hoping that those people that can't get to Blackpool matches, from our videos, get to feel like they actually went to the game. That was the whole point of it, really, which we've tried to achieve as best as we can. So
And we actually do more with our days now with a view to people watching them as well. Even the home games, we don't just go straight to the game and straight out. We're like, oh, there's something going on there, we'll go and have a look at that to show people as well. And so it sort of makes it enhances our day as well to bring the stories to you. So but yeah, it's lovely. Thank you for the feedback. It's lovely that you appreciate what we do. We hope to be able to bring you some more some more matches soon.
Yeah, well, that's the thing at the moment. We're a bit stuck for things to do for videos because obviously we've not got any football matches, and we'd obviously like to do a few things that interest you guys. We'll put some videos out. I'm busily learning more and more to do on my videos. As you probably notice, there's more sound things and all sorts of things coming in. But I'd like to do videos that you want to watch. There's no point in putting things on all the time that nobody's interested in. So, like I say, walking around the garden and going on our daily walks with us. I'm not sure if that's interesting enough, but we've got lots of videos from the season, and we can kind of go through some great matches and redo them for you.
We were thinking about doing some link ups with vloggers from other clubs as well, and bringing them in, and certainly doing that a bit more of that next season, just to bring in the other side, the other side story. So maybe we'll see a little bit more of that over the
we've found, haven't we, as we've been doing these vlogs, you've got to kind of know the opposition fans more than you ever did. They were just, they were just the opposition before, but you kind of got to see the people behind. We've interviewed a few away fans and everything, and it's kind of nice because we're all part of a big football community, really. And
we are all the same, aren't we?
Yeah.
We're the same. It's not like, you support a different club, so we hate you. We're sort of more and more coming to realise that opposition fans are just the same as us, and I think doing things like this just really helps bring that home, really, which I think is a good thing. Because I think there's a lot of clubs in trouble, and there's going to be more clubs in trouble, going through this and at the end of this, and it's important that we all pull together, and because we are all on the same side. Ultimately, we're on the side of football, aren't we?
Yeah, we're all just football fans at the end of the day. Of course, we want our clubs to do well, and we want to win all the time. But you can't always win all the time. But it's nice to meet. And I've really enjoyed meeting fans from other clubs, and I think it's been it's been the best thing of it so far. Is bringing it all together, and realizing we are just football's important. Obviously, it's not as important as family and everything is at the moment with this virus, but it's still such an important part of everybody's life, and we all love it. And at the end of the day, we're all these separate fans, but all of a sudden we become England fans, or Scotland fans, or whatever. You suddenly have your national team as well, and you all kind of get together in that. And I think it's great that we're all just part of one big family. Ian R, my first game was going to the FA Cup against Birmingham City in the 60s. We got beat 2-1, but seeing those tangerine shirts was magic and lit the fire.
It is. It's a wonderful colour, isn't it? I mean, at Wembley, down Wembley Way, just seeing that sea of tangerine it's really special, isn't it? It's clubs that have been raising money via crowdfunding, £2,000 to go towards ground redevelopment. But Plymouth Argyle crowdfunding to raise £50,000. Now that's quite interesting because there's a few different things you can do. You can buy. It's basically buying packages that for next season, but giving the money now. So they're up to I think £28,000 already raised from this. So you can buy a match ticket for £10, for example. But there's more you can do. There's like a season ticket and a shirt package, or you can be a director and you can sponsor stands, but they're all listed. If you go onto the crowdfunding page for Plymouth Argyle, there's all sorts that you can do, and it seems to be working quite successfully for them, which I think is a great idea, really, because I think they're perhaps selling things at maybe discount prices, because £10 seems quite cheap for a match ticket. But it's a good idea for them getting revenue in now. So maybe more clubs will start doing things like that, because it's got to be difficult having no revenue coming in, and it's difficult really sort of selling season tickets for a season that sort of a mythical season that you don't know. Because I was saying earlier, I've got friends who work for HS2, which is the new railway, obviously, that's going to be coming up from London. And I always used to joke with them that they're working for this mythical railway, because we weren't told that it was definitely going to be happening, although there was all these people working on it anyway. And for me, like, talking about next season seems like almost like a mythical season, because it's not tangible and you've got no idea when it's going to be starting. So to be buying a season ticket for a season that you've got no idea when it's going to be starting, it just seems a little bit strange. But I know some clubs are selling season tickets for next season and packages, so it's going to happen at some point, isn't it? But
yeah, we were discussing today about the Premier League have announced that they're going to give the Football League 120 million, is it? But they're giving it, really, they're only giving them the 120 million that they were going to give them anyway. Is that? Yeah,
they're just giving it as an advance now to get them through the
So they're not really actually giving them anything they were giving them anyway. Really, they could do with giving them 120 million and 120 million next season, because a lot of clubs are going to be struggling. Certainly not non-league clubs are really struggling, but like Jane says, the people are coming up with unique ways of gaining, of getting people to contribute to things, and they buy things and sell things, and
it's tricky because they've still got outgoing, they've still got stuff to pay, even at non-league, perhaps they haven't got, they might have some contract players to pay, but there's also the utility bills that they're still going to need paying. There's still expenses that they need to cover, and it's tricky. David Haythornthwaite's been in the news again. Oh. He's loving all this.
We love David Haythornthwaite, don't we? He's so controversial.
His latest, it's controversial, but he does actually talk a lot of sense.
He does talk a lot of sense. Well, for him.
Well, he's been saying that he wants the season to be declared null and void, which obviously suits him because AFC filed in the relegation zone as things stand. So that's
yeah, they were looking like they were going down as well.
That's his preference, but which I mean, there is definitely an argument for that. But
well, there's lots of clubs in there. I mean, it makes you wonder what's going to happen to Bolton, doesn't it, in our league? I mean, they've had a terrible season, but if they get away with it and stay in League Two and they don't get the points deduction next season.
Well, it sounds like they are going to try and finish off the season if they can. So whether that's going to be in September, maybe we'll see. Nangele has been in the news this week. He's been voted in the top 50 players in the EFL by 442 magazine. So that's good. We do like Armand Nangele, don't we?
Yeah.
He's a quality striker. He's got 18 goals. He's got.
He took a lot of stick this season, but I think he's a fabulous striker.
Imagine YouTube the first week football fans can go back. The uploads will be crazy. Yes, they will indeed. It's going to be wonderful to be back. So, what's our first fixture? We were meant to be at home to Sunderland, weren't we? So that'll be our first one. That'll be a great one for the Coffers, won't it?
Yeah, that was really disappointing because that was like the biggest game of the season, really. Well, Sunderland sold 8,000 tickets to come down. It was going to be a bumper crowd. We were really excited about it.
Oh, the Ultimate Quarantine, the FIFA competition. It's the semi-finals tonight. So in the semi-finals of the Ultimate Quarantine, we've got Standard Liège versus Wolves at 7 o'clock tonight, and we've got Istanbul Başakşehir versus FC Groningen at 7:30. So a lot of international representation there in the Ultimate Quarantine, which is the FIFA tournament that was organised by Leyton Orient.
Yeah, it's too far into the season to not finish it. I mean, loads of people are saying that. I mean, there's 9 games to go for most teams, and is it too far into the season? Can they finish it at this moment and take the promotions and the relegations at this point, or would there be legal action if they did? Say like Tranmere Rovers, for instance. We played them at home, and they look like they were definitely going to get out of the relegation zone, and yet they're in it, so they'll be relegated. Would that be unfair on Tranmere Rovers? Would it be not fair? Would it be like, Preston could get the playoffs and finally get promotion, but if they don't get to go into the playoffs, they're obviously not going to get promoted. So will those teams that would normally be in the playoff zones, would they be angry that they don't get to finish it out if they just promote people as it is now?
Nick Muller's saying, I'm still shaving. I know a lot of guys who are not, no pointers, they can't go out. Well, we just witnessed that on our Zoom Basel meeting. There was a guy with a massive beard.
Yeah, a huge beard.
Someone was saying to him that, you are allowed to go out and buy razors, mate. But yeah, I mean, it's interesting, isn't it, really? Because I don't really sort of put my makeup on so much as I would do normally. It's the first day I put my full face makeup on today just because I'm doing this video, and I've stopped painting my nails as well. It's interesting how you do sort of start letting yourself go a little bit, isn't it? Just because you're not going out. So I kind of see it as my skin's freshening up a little bit, and my nails are recovering. So
Edwin's in. Hello, Edwin. That's good. How are you doing? Soulful Aid says, I see a chap walked up and down the stairs at home until he climbed the equivalent of Mount Everest.
Wow.
Anyone up for doing something similar? Well, we're in a bungalow, so it.
Yeah, no,
couldn't do that, really. We couldn't do that one. Yeah.
No, I think we have a weekly weigh-in, and I actually managed to lose weight last week. But this week, I'm not quite sure that's going to be the case. But I think we possibly should be doing more. So, but there's a lot of stuff on YouTube, isn't there, with the exercise classes and everything. So maybe it's not going to happen. To be honest, I don't even know why I'm talking about it.
Edwin says, are you confident of the season recommencing? No, we're not at all. I can't see the season recommencing at all. I just don't think it's a possibility. I mean, they're talking about June, and I don't think this thing has even like started. I think it's going to get worse before it gets better, and I don't know when they're going to allow big events. I mean, even now they're going on about Cheltenham, aren't they? They're saying they shouldn't have done the Cheltenham Festival because there's so many people contracted coronavirus from that, and when there's more and more people have got it, and if they start just saying you can go out and go to football matches in June, I think we're heading for another. At the moment, it looks still bad. I think really bad.
So what level does it start? Given they've already cancelled certain divisions in non-league.
Yeah, well, that's the thing, isn't it? How can you carry on with leagues when other leagues have stopped? Because where do the promotions and relegations and stuff then come in? For leagues that have stopped. Doesn't really make any sense to me how that would work.
Sam, early random question. What's the both of your favourite away day you've been on? Ooh,
What,
been
this
so many.
season? This season. It was, well, it was Doncaster, really, but we liked Accrington as well, didn't we? Yeah.
Southend, I think for me was just because it
Yeah,
was
but it's-
amazing because we won and it was just a great day. And
Yeah. There was a lot of
yeah.
hope on that Southend game, wasn't there?
I love going to the games in London because a lot of my friends are, in the Blackpool Association of Supporters in London, and a lot of them go to those games down there. So for me, I see most of my friends at the London-based games, and down south. So yeah, Aki was very good as well with the fan zone.
Are the fish and chip shops open in Blackpool?
No.
Don't think they are. No, I don't think they are unless they're doing takeaways.
Deliveries. Yeah, no, I don't. But number 10 Ale House is delivering 2-pint cartons of beer and Thai food, and that seems to be going very well. So I'm going to try that one night actually.
Yeah.
Um,
Blackpool Lad TV, how are we doing? Yeah, we're doing fine. We're missing football. Jane's not missing it quite as much because she's enjoying the rest from all the away days. But I'm missing it really, to be honest. And it's a bit strange really because we're not missing it as much as we would have been missing it if we'd have had a chance of promotion. If we'd have been up in the playoffs or up near the top of the league, we'd be really gutted, But we're not. We're not. It's a bit of a non-season for us anyway, so it doesn't really matter that much. Even if the football gets, if the season gets cancelled right now and they say everything really, barring a miracle, we weren't going up, we weren't going down. It's just a non-season anyway for us, so they can cancel it for us. But for teams that are at the top of the league, it must be horrendous.
Cheats and Giggles says there is a chippy open in Freckleton.
Ah.
I think that's a bit beyond our boundaries for going out for a walk, isn't it? So, I was saying the other day I do miss my chippy tea, so maybe we're sort of trying lots of different types of oven chips to try and find one that we like.
Yeah, if anybody knows some good oven chips.
Oh no, actually we were discussing getting maybe a chip fryer. Yes. So if anybody's got any recommendations that won't involve me burning the house down, which is a very real risk, because I normally do that when just doing burgers under the grill.
Yeah. So any recommendations for a chip fryer we need? Would you like the season to carry on if it meant you lost all the remaining games?
No, I just don't want the season to carry on anyway. Really, I just don't want to go to Portsmouth. I'm just thinking Aldi's own steak cut chips.
We're not really bothered about the season, Nick, because it's a non-season anyway for Blackpool. We're not doing anything. We weren't going anywhere. If we'd have been up near the top of the league, we'd have definitely been more sick than what we are now. That's for sure. And I know some teams will be. I mean, even for Ipswich, they've gone off the boil, haven't they? I couldn't see Ipswich getting back in it either. They were so out of form. So Aldi's own steak cut chips.
I'm writing it on my to-do list.
Right, it's going on the list. Thank you very much.
Steak. We like Aldi, don't we?
Thanks for doing the show. Oh, thank you, Sarah. Glad you appreciate it. We've had a few technical issues. We're thinking that the bandwidth has been reduced for YouTube or something because we've never had cutouts before or disconnection, so we're not quite sure why. I've had a few problems with sound, but that we seem to be when it disconnects, it also disconnects the sounds. We've got to reconnect it in.
Ian says, due to the lockdown, there'll be a few small and not so small companies going out of business. I'm sure this will affect football clubs and saying, well, there's a couple more. Debenhams have gone into administration, and there was
have they?
Yeah, there was someone else. There's a couple.
Bad for Blackpool. That is really bad. It's the only store we've got. Well, that and Marks and Spencer's is all we've got left.
We've got Primark.
Yeah, if Debenhams goes flipping it, there'll be no house there, will there? That's shocking.
Yeah, there was another one, I don't remember.
Turned into blowing B&M bargains or something. It's rubbish.
Yeah.
Who would you rather up top in their prime? Varney, DJ Campbell or Nangela? Well,
DJ for me.
DJ Campbell, hadn't you flipping heck? It was unbelievable. I like Varney though as well. I did
can you
like
imagine
Varney.
Campbell and Nangela together though? That'd be great, wouldn't it?
Yeah. Could you imagine Nangela? Yeah, the knockdown for DJ Campbell from Nangela. He'd be brilliant, wouldn't he? That little fox in the box. Yeah. Ooh.
I'd just love to see just like Blackpool just playing really good football again. There's been a lot. The Gazette this week have been covering 10 years ago and the stories that were happening 10 years ago, and obviously Blackpool were looking to get promoted to the Premier League, and I watched the highlights of the Scunthorpe match that we won 4-2, Scunthorpe away. That was the day that we kind of knew that something actually might really be happening, and just watching just the wave after wave of attack, and oh god, it was just, to have that again would just be. I think that's just one of the reasons I'm just, because we've been spoiled really. We've had such wonderful football under Villiers. We were good under Steve McMahon. We were good under Larry first time, under under Ollie. It's not like it wasn't just that season, although that was extra special, around about that time. But we have had, I've seen so much wonderful stuff. I've seen us win promotion, the playoffs so many times, and the LDV Trophy, a couple of times. I've seen us win at Cardiff 3 times. I've seen us win at Wembley so many times, and it's been wonderful, really. It's all been lower league predominantly, but it's just been good, and this season hasn't been good. No. I just want good football again. Yeah, so the brick football's still happening tomorrow night, 7:45. Yellowfield Stags versus FC Brickstand. If you go on to FC Brickstand on Twitter and Facebook, you will find details of that match. They're always good fun. Guaranteed to bring a smile, even whether they win or lose. I think their goalkeeper actually scored the winner last week, or the equaliser in that match. So always interesting things happening in the FC Brickstand matches. And I can't get my head around this at all, because they're discussing 30% of their wages to go into some kind of charity pot to help people out, the NHS or whatever that may be. They're getting together to discuss that. But because they're saying they don't want that extra 30% to benefit the clubs, but there's all this money that the clubs are missing out on. It's not like it's benefiting the clubs, and it's kind of not helping the clubs if they're saying, oh yeah, we'll take a 30% pay cut, but you're still going to pay that 30% somewhere else. I don't really... I think the players taking a cut. It's good that they're wanting to do their bit, and that money, instead of going to them, is going towards good causes. But that's not helping the clubs. And if the clubs, clubs are going to go bust, and if that happens, then they're not going to have a club to pay for, and then they're not going to be getting any money at all. Never mind 30% less. So I can't get my head around that at all. Where they're coming from with that one. Do you think any EFL clubs will hit the wall over this? I think so. I think there's some in trouble already, aren't there? Macclesfield in trouble, and there's a few other ones in trouble, and yeah, definitely. Well, who was it you said last week? There were 20. Was that Bristol Rovers? Yeah, 20... but they seem confident that they're going to be okay, despite being however many millions of pounds in debt. That was before they lost all revenue from everywhere else. So. Worrying time. Certainly non-league, I have a feeling for Chasetown, certainly at the moment, because they obviously can't open the clubhouse, electric, and it's a worry, and they've got work to do on the pitch, and as always, and it's very sad. There's going to be fewer clubs certainly at the end of this, and fewer companies as well. So they're already starting to just drop off bit by bit. If if they're on the edge already, and there's no revenue coming in, it's difficult. Life as we knew it has changed beyond all recognition now, definitely has. But I think there are a lot of positives that are going to come out of this. Certainly, people are becoming more, technologically aware of things like these live streams and things like Zoom and WebEx and things. People are communicating online now, whereas before they were meeting in person or maybe not communicating at all. So I think that's definitely a positive in connecting people, and people will stay connected that way, which is a positive thing. And obviously, it'll cut down on pollution. People aren't traveling to see each other. They can do it this way, and now they know they can, because their hands have been forced. I think that the world's definitely going to be unrecognisable, but there are going to be a lot of positives coming out of this. That things that we thought we needed, actually we don't. No. Which is not necessarily good for other companies, but. Hailey, just a quick. This is Blackpool Lad TV. Hailey, just a quick question. How did you get subscribers so quick? I remember when you were on 550 and doing the pitch updates. Just wondering, as a young vlogger trying to grow. Well, I don't just doing videos. Really, we just did a lot. I mean, I've done lots of videos. We were doing at one time. I was doing 3 or 4 a week. I kept coming up with the different ideas, like the prediction game and all that sort of stuff. But we just tried to get as much good content as we could. I mean, obviously my videos have got better as well. You kind of learn all the time. But I've been thinking about doing a video, for football vloggers, but we're not quite sure how many people are watching. But I've got some ideas on things I can teach you to do, if that'd be interested. If you'd be interested in that kind of thing, I will definitely put that sort of video together to sort of show you the things that you need to do. But it's the matches really that people watch. People are interested in the matches. If they're not going, they want to see, how was it, and we're giving our honest views on what we're seeing, and not, we're not sort of feeding you any official lines, or we haven't got any political slants on anything, or telling you what the club wants to hear. It's just, you see on my away days, honestly, how I'm feeling in reaction to what I've seen. So I think people
Yeah.
appreciate that honesty.
And your personality, because your personality will be totally different to ours, and there's loads of people don't, like Dennis, who doesn't even want me to speak on here, so obviously he prefers Jane, and some people don't like Ben at Cod's vlogs, they don't like the way, but others do. Some people love the the It's Ramos style, and I think you've just got to be yourself, really, just totally be yourself, and on camera you're best just being you. Not trying to be something, you're not trying to pretend you're something else. Just be you.
Put your
And
whole
people will
self.
like you. Some people won't like you. You'll get negative things all the time, and people post horrible things, but you just delete them.
I think you get out what you put in as well. I mean, Lee lives and breathes this channel, and I think you can tell that from the quality of the videos and the content that's put out. And I think if you just maybe do it half-heartedly, you won't be quite as successful. But if you're really looking and trying to create good content and put videos out all the time, and I think that will be rewarded in subscribers going forward.
Yeah, it's a bit of an addiction with me. I've kind of got so into making videos. I so enjoy. I mean, before I did the football vlogging, I was actually teaching myself to make videos for my own like home barbecue or something. I mean, I wanted them to look more cinematic, and I started trying to teach myself. And I was watching YouTube channels on people that that make these things that are really like a movie, and I got into doing all that sort of stuff, so I get a lot of pleasure out of the quality. I'm even getting a pleasure here out of the background I've done with the lighting. I think as far as that, it's just totally obsessive with me, but I like things to look a certain way, and I keep trying to improve it all the time, and I keep trying to obviously the interviews with people have got better, and there's when I did the first few interviews with blooming Eamon O'Keefe and Tony Green and Derek Spence, I was terrified. Honestly, I was thinking, what am I doing here? I'm the lighting guy, I'm the sound guy, I'm Michael Parkinson, and then I've got to edit it all. It was really stressful, and it didn't get the kind of views that I wanted it to get. The Tony Green one especially has been a big disappointment to me, because it's only had 1,400 views, and I thought like all the Newcastle fans would pick up on it, but they haven't done, because they love Tony Green at Newcastle. He's in the Hall of Fame and everything. So there's been disappointments along the way, but I've just kept going, and I've I don't listen to the negative people. There's loads of negative people that are always slagging you off and stuff, but you just don't listen to them. You just carry on. There's people that enjoy
David
it.
Scholl says if you find something interesting, chances are others will as well. Yeah, and that's something that we try to be passionate about what it is we bring you as well. Lee's, you're a very passionate guy, aren't you? With you get very excited about things that you find and things that you see, and I do as well. And it's like, well, when I'm on my away days and I'll see something like, oh, that's exciting, I'll just and I'll film it because I'm like, oh, I'd quite like to show Lee that, but other people will want to find that interesting as well, like the guy playing the piano in St Pancras Station, for example. It's just like, ordinarily I would have just walked past that or maybe remembered to write it in my blog, but now I'm thinking, oh, well, I'll film that because someone else might like to share that with other people as well. So
what's it? I could do with some more makeup. I could do with a bit more makeup. No, I don't think I'll be bothering with makeup, but yeah, we were talking about this actually, because if you were like a film star, you'd actually go into makeup, wouldn't you, before you started all these things, and they make you look really good. So maybe I could do with a bit more makeup.
Oh, Nick Muller's subbed to Blackpool lad, so cheers Nick, supporting another Blackpool fan.
Oh, there we are. Yeah. Oh, well, there you are, Blackpool lad. You've just picked up a subscriber from an Ipswich fan. So there you go. So coming on these chats with us, getting on my channel actually as well. If you want to, I've done it a few times with a few of the vloggers. I've interviewed them on my videos, like Hino's Hub. I've promoted him a few times, so I was like, Hino, he's really good, and I've had George of It's Ramos on, and Chris Maxwell 14. We've had him on. Chris Lomas 14. He's been on as well, so they're all vloggers you can follow and subscribe to them.
We were talking earlier.
How much money do we make?
£1.90 so far.
Well, yeah, well, we can make some money if you do all super chats. It is now available on these. Apparently, you get super chats, so you can tip us. You don't make much money at all. In fact, very little so far.
SAFC
it's not really
vlogger.
about the money, really, to be honest, at the moment.
Is that Sunderland? Do we have a Sunderland fan amongst us?
Yes. I saw your channel, SAFC. Yeah, nice to have you on board. Yeah, yeah. Were you the one that stopped? You haven't done some for a while, I think, if that's right. I think I commented on you haven't been doing many vlogs. Have you just kind of given up on the season? I couldn't remember. I think that was SAFC.
Season's given up on us, I think.
Yeah, well, yeah. Yeah.
We were talking earlier about spitting and players spitting, which is something that I think, you know, we don't notice so much, but it's something that certainly winds people up.
Actually, £5. Well, they are £5. I think we made £7 today. So hey, we can eat out. Thank you very much. Well, no, we can't eat out.
We can pay the bills now.
We're going to get some.
We can almost pay the bills.
Get some of those fries. You're going to get some of those chips.
The Aldi.
Yeah, the Aldi fries. Yeah, so we can afford a bag of those. That's brilliant. Thank you very much.
Back on the video and streams now. So, that's good news.
Oh, good. We were talking before. It's been great since we started this football vlogging, which we were never going. It was never the plan, but we've met, quite a lot of fans from other clubs now, and it's really good to kind of, I don't know, we're all part of one big family, aren't we? So, and we can get you on the videos when you come to Blackpool. So, if you come into Blackpool, were you coming to Blackpool? Because there's 8,000 of you were coming to the game. Unfortunately, they got cancelled just at the end because we were really looking forward to that one. We were going to get a few of you lot on.
When the lottery and stuck in lockdown, yeah. When I mean, people who do have money can't spend the money now, so
Yeah, has Simon Sadler made any statement? We've heard nothing, have we, at all?
He's a very quiet man, generally, isn't he? I think that's why he's got the other guys in.
Do you think he's in Singapore? Do you think he stayed in Blackpool?
Well, he was over here, wasn't he, to sack Larry, and I don't think he went. I don't think he went back, but I don't know.
I just wonder if he's still in Blackpool.
Possibly. There's not a lot, really, is there? Not a lot coming out of the club.
But there's never been a lot coming out of the club, has there? They're very kind of, we've said this quite a few times. They're very, they're keeping it very tight to the chest.
They're doing a few things for the kids, actually. The community trust. Now, this is interesting. It's something I'm going to do, even though I'm not a kid, but grown-ups can do it as well. Is the community trust have opened a poetry competition for April for inviting people to write a poem about Blackpool. So it can be about the football club, or it can be about Blackpool, Blackpool the town. So that's interesting.
So you're going to do it as Jane Stewart, age 13, like Rodders did on Only Fools and Horses when they're going on a stupid kids holiday. That'd be great. I actually there was a design the away kit thing as well, which I designed it with little orange things, tangerine things down the sides and black stripes on. I posted it on Twitter, but not many people have liked it. But anyway, I did it for fun, but I thought it looked a good away kit.
It kept you amused.
It kept me amused, yeah, in the morning. Simon Sadler was recently saying that Chippy and Freckleton. Was he really? Don't know if that's true or not. Well, the Sports Direct guy still making money, not a nice guy. Is he the guy that owns Newcastle? What's it called?
Have you watched Sunderland Till I Die? We were just
No, this is the thing. We haven't watched it, and we're certainly not watching the one about Simon Grayson because we've had enough of him. So we're gonna watch the second series. So we're gonna watch it this week, and we're gonna chat about it next week. So don't do any spoilers for us because we're quite looking forward to
Mike Ashley. That's it.
Mike Ashley. Yeah, that's of course Mike Ashley. Yeah, Mike David.
I've heard it's amazing. Sunderland Till I Die. So we will watch that. If we could,
we're gonna watch this.
Well, we've got to finish Ozark first.
Yeah, we've got to finish Ozark.
We're addicted to Ozark, and we're also addicted to Big Bang Theory. But I mean, that's going to last us till the end of time. There is so many. If we're still in isolation at the end of Big Bang, then we are in trouble. We're halfway through season 2.
We found we have a good old laugh at Big Bang Theory, so it kind of cheers you up really because it is quite funny. I find it funny anyway, but the Ozark's a bit.
Great.
It's suspenseful. It's really good. I don't know if you've watched Ozark, but definitely we're going to watch Sunderland Till I Die this week, and then we're going to chat about it
after we finish.
And we've got another football one after that as well, which is the football game.
The English game.
The English game. Yeah,
which looks good. Which I think is a series as well. So 10 seasons, Big Bang. Yeah, we're about 18 into season 2. So.
Yeah, we're only on season 2 at the moment because we never watched it before. But it's so funny, honestly. We've even bought a thing that came today which folds your clothes up.
Sheldon was folding his laundry with this.
Well,
this
I love it.
thing.
I love it. Kind of folded over, and it just folded your shirts up and your t-shirts up really nice. So we ordered it. It came today, so I've had a go with it. It's dead easy. Just I don't know. It's like a plastic thing. It folds over. It folds over in 3 ways, and it looks like your shirts are in a clothes shop. It's
Does
very, very
Jane
good.
sing Soft Kitty to you? No. No, I can't say I've done
No,
that. No.
no, and I certainly don't sing at all. As you know, you've heard me, I'm a
You
piano player.
do, it doesn't.
I
Yeah.
do sing, but
Yeah.
in the shower normally.
Yeah.
The Haunting of Hill House.
Yeah, I'm a bit sort of. I'm not really a massive fan of haunted house things.
Ooh, I'm not, because
because I
it
just think
creeps in the house.
I just think they're all the same. I do like a good horror. I did watch It, the remake of It, last week. I did enjoy that. That was actually quite scary, and you kept walking into the room and making me jump, didn't you? But yeah, I've lost the will to live with haunted house things because it's just like,
How much can you do with a haunted house?
Well, Stephen King says himself, they're all. There's only so many stories. There's only about 4 or 5 stories that you can write, and the haunted house one is one, and they're just.
But I always think it's all about.
They're not Amityville, are they? I love
No.
Amityville.
Edwin Hesker, Sunderland Till I Die is ace. Without giving too much away, you'll be amazed at the size of their wage bill. Yeah, well, no, it doesn't surprise me. Still, God knows how they're coping now without any revenue.
Super creepy. Just as a reminder, I've been watching you for an hour. Does it come up? Do you mean to have been watching this for an hour?
Yeah, exactly. Is that telling you to get up? Go and get a life. Yeah, but this is what we're trying to do. We kick off at 3. And we finish around about 4:45, obviously with any injury time, to sort of like fill in the void of not going to football on Saturday. So hopefully, we get some of you to stick all the way through the whole game.
Wonder what the score would have been if we were playing.
Yeah, they did.
I don't know. The last few home games, I thought the crowds at Bloomfield seemed a bit low. Are you surprised that the gates aren't bigger since we've got a new chairman and the new era started? No, because the football was terrible.
Yeah,
and
I know loads of people are going to say, well, you've missed football all this time. You should be happy that you just back watching football. But the trouble is, when we came back to watch Blackpool, all of a sudden we're suddenly all in love with them again, and it all means a lot more than it did. Just like it did before. And when you lose, you feel it. When you draw, and it gets you down because you want to win, and you're back enthusiastic about football, and you want to see great football. And Simon's football just kicked the life out of everybody because it was just so bad. And the crowds were gonna go back. It's football. You can't get away from it. It's about results at the end of the day and where you are and the excitement of promotion. And if you're going nowhere or the football's getting worse, the crowds are going to drop. Don't matter who the owner is.
And also people got out the habit of going, didn't they, when we were boycotting for 5 years. So it's just like, it's not like we really got back. Well, I did obviously, but into the habit of going and going to football every week because that's what we do. Because people never really got back into it, and it's easier, I think, once you've been out of that. After, people maybe have been watching Blackpool for, 20, 30 years, and then they stop going, and then you start going back, and it's not quite as good, and you're not really, some people, not everybody went back at all. So,
Aaron Young, 383. Have we ignored you, Aaron? I don't know. Have we not seen? Has he posted something? Post again, Aaron. We're not ignoring you.
So the North West Counties Football League. I don't know. Did I mention this earlier? I can't remember. They've got a £35,000 pot. Did I mention earlier that they're waiving the 2021 subs for their teams for next season and cancel the end of season awards dinner, so the clubs don't have to pay for that. Going to online handbooks and deferring fines if clubs can't afford to pay them. So that's good.
Yeah.
Do you think we'll get back to the Prem? Do you think we'll get back to the Prem?
Yeah, absolutely. You have to. Football is all about dreams. It's following a dream, and that was the thing that destroyed it with the Oysters for me, because they destroyed that dream of following something. Because we got all the way to the Premier League, and it might as well never happened. But as a fan of a lower league club, you're always dreaming that this season is going to be your season. You're going to get promotion, and that promotion is or you're going to draw United in the cup or something that's going to bring you money in and get your new striker. And you're always trying to get up and up and up and up. And you've got to. That's what football's all about. So
realistically,
yes,
Championship. Well, definitely the Championship, because Championship's where we, where we should be, I think.
Yeah.
But why not? Why can't we get to the Premier League again? We've done it before. On a shoestring.
Well, look at Burnley.
When we're actually run properly, and when we've got the the academy and everything, and the good training facilities, where you can attract better players than we have been doing.
Yeah.
So
we've got a manager now that's been coaching, and the things that have happened at Liverpool, a lot of it will be down to him, bringing that style of play in. And I think if he brings that style of play into Blackpool and he has the connections, then who knows? I'm certainly more excited about, you know, this Neil Critchley than I am about Simon Grayson. I just didn't think we had any chance with him, to be honest. We just seem to be getting worse.
No, it's kind of, you forget, don't you, about Neil Critchley? You're sort of getting a bit excited about him, and then all of a sudden there's no football. You don't really get to. You were just starting to see, weren't we? Well, the decent football that they were starting to play, and it's frustrating. Really,
So full age, you're saying there, unless we get in another Bellicon, but I counter that by saying that this Simon Sadler is looking like he's done more for Blackpool in this season than Bellicon did, with regards to the stadium, with regards to the backroom staff, with regards to everything he's doing behind the scenes. He's putting a lot of things in that, you know, that Bellicon was only there as a 20% shareholder in the background. He didn't do a lot really with it. He was left to the oysters, and I think Simon Sadler can take us more than Bellicon can. I don't know if he's got as much money as Bellicon, but well, that's the thing. We don't know how much money he has, but he's certainly a very passionate Blackpool fan, and Bellicon wasn't a passionate Blackpool fan of like a lifelong fan. He was, he obviously became a fan when he got involved, but. No, I think we got more chance with Simon Sadler than we had under Bellicon, if I'm being honest.
Because I don't think he put in that much, did he? Was it 5 million he put in? Oh. And then, if we're actually making more money organically going forward, and we make it a little bit more sustainable, I don't think it's beyond the realms. I know there's a lot more money in the Premier League, isn't there, these days, but there's other little clubs that have done it. Burnley have done it and stayed up there, Bournemouth have gone up and stayed up there, so why can't we do it again? I don't know. Yeah, is Bellicon definitely off the scene? Yeah, I think definitely. I think Simon Sadler wants to just move forward, and
I don't think he needs him. I think he has his own vision of where he wants.
He's
Blackpool
got his own
to go.
people. I don't think he wants. And Bellicon wasn't whiter than white himself, was he? So not necessarily somebody who works in financial services wants to be associated with, I would say, in a partnership going forward, which is, it's a shame really in a way, but he was
I'll never forget what he did, Bellicon, for us. I don't think we'll ever forget that, will we really? We'll never forget Bellicon.
But... And those trips to Latvia, I loved our trips to Latvia. They were superb. So.
I was always, I said to Jane loads of times, I was always disappointed with Bellicon that we didn't, we got Kasper's Gorks in from Latvia, and then it never really happened after that. And I thought we'd have a stream of Latvian players coming through because of the connection with Bellicon. And if it had been like anything like Kasper's Gorks, a streamline of those, players coming through would have been great. But that didn't happen, did it really? So
Blackpool was one of the longest serving clubs in the All First Division until 1967. Yeah, those were the before I was born, sadly. So I missed all of those times when Blackpool were up there.
Dennis Hutch, 5 million wouldn't buy you a decent woolly mammoth. No, it wouldn't. It wouldn't. Yeah, whatever.
Hello, Ben's
here. Hi, Ben.
Hi,
Cosvlogs. You've caught us back. You haven't missed much. We've been disconnecting and reconnecting, and we've been having a bit of trouble with audio because of the disconnections. But yeah, it's been different.
So yeah, it's been. We're coming up to full time. We're just into the last few minutes now ahead of.
So any last minute questions you'd like to ask us while we're here? We've got 3.
No one's recommended a decent chip fryer yet.
No, a decent chip fryer. We're still waiting for that. Because we're thinking of buying one to get some better chips, because our oven chips are not very chippy.
No, we've had is it McCain's home fries, which are a famous brand, but they're just honestly they're in the oven for about an hour and they were still sort of soggy and not good. So.
Yeah, we always will. I agree. We will always be grateful to Valerie Bellicon, 100%. He did a lot more than the Oysters did. And the minute he came in and promised us Premier League football in 5 years, and we did it in 4, it was unbelievable. But I still think that Simon Sadler, has got a chance to eclipse Bellicon. Really, if he gets a bit of luck along the way, he's doing a lot behind the scenes. The ground's looking better. The things that are coming in all the time. It's just a shame the football stopped for him. Really.
By a low volume fat fryer, does that mean not so much fat in it?
Yeah.
Isn't the fat that makes the chips taste nice though?
Low volume fat fryer.
Or does that mean it's less likely that I'm going to burn the house down if there's less fat in there? But going back to Valerie Bellicon and when he put the money in, but of course that coincides with Larry's first period with Blackpool. So Larry had all this money to spend and bought in all these players, And so it actually, thinking about it now, it would have been quite difficult for Larry not to do well under those circumstances when he had all that money and brought all those players in.
The thing that we've been
So-
talking about all the time, we're always talking about, we
So
don't.
maybe that was why he did so well in the first place, just because he had all this money to burn. And anyone, I could have done it and spent the money and got Blackpool
But then he
promoted.
kind of, yeah.
So maybe we overrated Larry in the first place.
Because they did bring a lot of players in, didn't he, when they weren't playing so well?
Yeah, to be honest, I think Keenan Dewsbury Hall will make the England team in a few years. Well,
He's got a chance. He's a good player, isn't he?
yeah,
He's a really good
he
player.
is. He's a great player.
He's small, but he's
He's not very good on FIFA, but
no, he's not very good
on the
at
pitch.
he
He's,
wasn't very good
he's
playing
very
for the
good,
Ultimate
yeah.
Quarantine, but no, he's a great player and he scores some, great goals. And I like a player that has a go and takes them on a bit. He was prepared to take teams on, wasn't he? Whereas most of the other players seem to want to pass it around all the time, don't they? But yeah, he's a good player. In fact, both of those lads were great, really, really good. That's what I think.
But will we see them again?
No, that's the thing, isn't it?
Ronan is just as exciting. Yeah, he is.
Yes,
He's very popular,
yes.
isn't he, Conor Ronan?
Yeah, two great players, really.
I think we might have a chance. Hopefully, we'll have a chance of getting Ronan.
I think the only thing for me with playing the both of them, where we were sometimes overpowered by more experience, tougher older players, where is there just been one of them in the team with a bit more experience around them. They did get overrun a bit sometimes in midfield, and he had to change it a little bit and bring an old head on. But they're both going to be great players as they get older, definitely.
Look up low volume fryers on Amazon. I'm on it.
Low volume fryers. Thank you very much, Ian. That's brilliant.
Right.
Any last questions? Because we're coming up
It
to
is full time.
4:45. We've got some extra time to play because we've had so many connection
Low
problems. So we can.
volume fryer. Right.
Taylor Moore looks a great player. Well, James already said that.
Oh, a hot air fryer. Oh, well, that'll be difficult for me to set the house on fire, definitely.
Yeah.
How much?
Shoot on sight, guys. Yeah. They have confidence and skill. They certainly do. Yeah, Jane was really raving about Taylor Moore, and he does look a bit like an Andy Morrison type of player. I think.
What's air fryer?
Who was it that said he was the most square person he'd ever
Oh,
seen?
yeah, he's very square, isn't he?
Yeah, who was it though? It was Mitch Cook's Left Foot, his blog, and that is brilliant, by the way. If you're a Blackpool fan,
get that read.
yeah, Mitch Cook's Left Foot, he's superb. Honestly, he's so funny. Honestly, if you read his blogs, you'll laugh. Honestly, if you're a Blackpool fan, you'll just laugh so much because they're just hilarious. But yeah, he was saying
Easy
that
to
Taylor Moore
clean,
was Taylor Moore was the squarest player he'd ever seen. Right, we're coming to an end. Last
Get
few,
on with the air fryer. Thanks for the
last
tip
few
there.
questions. Thank you very much for tuning in. Sorry, it was we're having trouble with connection problems.
But we
and
fixed it
sound.
now, haven't we?
We have fixed it. We know now.
Won't happen again. We've learnt.
Yes, he does remind. Yeah, he reminds us of Andy Morrison as well, and he was a great. He was a. Oh.
But we know we would rather meet in a dark alley, don't we?
I'd rather meet Taylor Moore. He's a little bit more polite, isn't he?
I've enjoyed this afternoon. Thank you both. Thank you, Ian. It's been lovely having you here.
Thanks, Dennis.
Thank you, Dennis. I enjoy the rest of your day and get on with Sunderland Till I Die if you haven't watched it yet, and we can chat about that next week.
Yeah, Sunderland Till I Die for next week, and we will have a little chat about that, and hopefully, just stay safe. Honestly, just stay safe. It's worrying times. It really is. I wasn't thinking this coronavirus thing was all that much, but it just seems to be getting bigger and bigger. So stay safe. Keep your social distance and wash your hands and do all the things they're telling you to do. And let's just hope we're all here when the season comes back and we don't lose, family members and stuff, because I think that's
end on a positive.
Yeah, end on a positive. Yeah, sorry, go really negative. Yeah, that would be brilliant. No, just stay safe, folks, and we'll see you all obviously back at Bloomfield Road.
See you next week.
Thank you very much for tuning in, and we'll have it right next week. Thank you.